What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So as you all know, today is indeed Wednesday, which means a new summit is now live on Motorfest. On top of that, I also want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Kind of insane we are now going to be in 2025. With that, we're also going to have the brand new main stage here at Motorfest, which I do admit is kind of like it's okay, I guess, if you do want like the anti-lag kit or something, but I would say most players probably already have the Porsche, but if you don't, then yes, you can get that thing at level 3. Besides that, nothing else has changed when it does come to the main stage. Besides the main stage, though, we're also going to have the new set of summits that are now going to be active until the beginning of February. The first one here is going to get us the Red Glow Tint, which is the current active summit. You're also going to get yourself the Creator's Tempesta, some perf parts, and then a Blue Laxi Rooftop. So, kind of interesting. The Red Glow Tint is kind of we all do know it was going to be a vanity item. The next thing is going to be the Space Kid Nitro, which is going to be kind of cool, I guess. Then we're also going to have the Ice Marine Blade Runner for gold, legend points, and 100,000 XP for bronze there. The next summit, though, is going to be the Motorfest Selection McLaren for this one, which is going to get ourselves the Swift Curve Nitro, which is, again, another vanity item if you do want it. We're then going to have the McLaren P1 perf parts, and so on, 5,000 spare parts besides that in bronze. So I would admit right now the next three summits here are kind of not going to be all that great, at least the current three. We're then going to have the next one here, which brings us a tire, and yes, before you say it, that tire is from the Crew 2, if you guys were wondering, so it is going to be another returning reward. Like, I'm not trying to complain about it, but I do feel like it really is going to hurt the summits, man. They really need to update this stuff. We're then going to have the Lunar Roads is going to be the final summit. It does indeed look like the Noble M5 or M600 or whatever. It looks pretty dope. It is going to have like a special design on it, as you can see in the background of it. So I would say that car is going to be fairly cool, but besides that, though, guys, this summit is going to have a few Chase Squad events in it. And if you are wondering, yes, they are going to be completely based on your score and not the time you get in it, which I have to admit is honestly kind of annoying. We're then going to have a Slalom and Escape and another Slalom. And for the most part, though, I would probably say both of these slaloms are going to be fairly simple to do them. All you guys are going to need is a score breaker set, any vehicle class of your liking, and you're pretty much good to go, man. Like, you do not have to use an Alpha GP on it. All you will need is like a motocross bike, a street tier 2, pretty much a tier 1. Basically, any class, you're then going to be good to go on it. It is kind of funny how simple these slaloms are. You would most likely think that running an Alpha GP would help, but in reality, though, it really doesn't. The last thing here is going to be an escape for this. I did end up picking the 919 Street. I probably could go back in and do a tad better on this and cut in a different area at the end, but I was like, you know what, man, I'm going to take the 8,400 yards. I feel like that's going to be fairly decent. Using something like the Bugatti or the Koenigsegg is probably going to be the most used vehicles in the game because they really are that incredible. For me, though, I did want to use the Porsche 919, guys. It's going to be a great overall car. I would definitely recommend trying it out. And with me not using pro settings, well, I feel like it's fairly good to use. Besides that, though, as I did mention, there is going to be 3 events in this one that are going to require the rival takedown. I did say it before when we had the other one. I'm going to say it again. If they are trying to push the entire year 2 pass on people with the Chase Squad, this is probably not the best way to do it. Like, just being honest, I don't think it is. But besides that, though, let's talk about these 3 events here first. The Dogs on the Hunt, the Hyper Takedown, and the Weredog. I feel like these are probably going to be the ones players are most likely not going to enjoy. For all of them, there is going to be vehicle loan, guys, so you can't use your own cars on them, and you're going to have to hit the rivals on them. The biggest thing about these 2 here is, well, you're going to be going against one rival. You spawn in and basically take them down. Guys, this is the biggest tip I can give you for all of these that will make them a lot easier. Go for head-on hits. That's all you have to do on them to get the biggest score. You would get legit anywhere from 250, 300 plus thousand from a single head-on hit. And you can legit get like 3 or 4 of those on them before you end up destroying the rival. It is easily the best way to do it. For those 2, I would say that's probably fairly simple. And Hyper Takedown do the exact same thing. For this, though, there is going to be a total of 3 rivals, basically a boss one, and 2 little minion ones that do end up following it around. Again, you can go for legit head-on hits on all of them to get even a higher score. For this one, I got over 2 million. Yeah, I could probably get higher on it, probably do it quicker. I am going to skip around in some of the video footage and all that. That way you don't see me just driving around, always trying to get in front of the rivals, guys. But That is easily going to be the key to these. I do understand players most likely don't enjoy them, and I would actually like to see something along the lines of maybe based on how fast you can do it, instead of making the event go 5 or 6 minutes to get head-on collisions, learning the entire course, trying to go against RNG and all that stuff. Like, it's not that fun. The other event here, though, how to smash guys, this one is fairly simple. Basically, aim for the yellow cars, do not hit the red ones, go as quick as you can, and that is basically it. Like, this one is fairly simple. I did end up missing one on this, which would have got me an extra 5,000 points, but I'm already at 143, so I don't really want to go after 5 more thousand points. The other two events, though, are both going to be time trial type of events. We're going to have to use the Ivory-Tower here, and then the Lykan Hypersport. For the first event here in the Ivory-Tower Aezus, I think that's how you say that, guys, this car is pretty dang good. Do you have to use something like the Chase Squad? Well, if you didn't end up buying the DLC, which I would not recommend that, by the way, the regular Ivory-Tower is going to be just as good by itself. In fact, I would say this is going to be a fairly decent hypercar, especially if you're like me and you do not want to change the pro settings on it. It is still going to be fairly decent by itself. In fact, I would say the Ivory-Tower is fairly usable against some of the better cars, but we all do know some of the better cars are, well, better for a reason. And then for the final event here in the Lykan Hypersport, I would say this car is probably not going to be all that great without pro settings. But then again, though, I probably didn't have the best run on this event because, like, yeah, I could probably go back into it and do a tad better in some of the turns. But I gotta admit, guys, I just wasn't really feeling it. After doing some of the other events and driving the police cars, I did see the main races here, or, if you want to call them time trials or whatever. But jumping into those with the Lykan Hypersport, which I wouldn't say is going to be a terrible hypercar, also not running any pro settings on this thing is going to be fairly interesting, or even doing something like the Ivory-Tower hypercar event, well, these are probably going to be pretty dang fun for most of the players. Luckily, the How to Smash event is going to be incredibly easy to do, but I really do believe the other three events players are not going to be the biggest fans of them. Do let me know what you guys think about this summit in the comments below. And also, I am curious, what do y'all think about the upcoming summits as well, with the current rewards that are going to be coming in them? I'm most likely going to guess and say, well, players are probably not going to like them, at least until the end of January into February.